and welcome back to our coding journey. In today's video, I would like to bring about the next level changes in our receipt creation program that we have been doing with the three videos. And I already uploaded those videos. Truly, we started from scratch, right? We started with the very basic of variables, string, print statement, and then in the second video, we moved to concepts such as dictionaries, loops, and list. And also, we thought that wouldn't be enough. Let's move on another level. And we don't want it to have the static or hard-coded values. Rather, we wanted to have the user give us the value and then we will create the receipt. So we brought the concept of user input. In other words, we use the input function. We got all the input from the user and then dynamically we were creating the receipt. So as you see in front of you in the screen, this is the output of the last video that we did using the user input. And herein, I got four product information or product details, and that includes the name of the product and the price. And also I asked for the company information that is given by user as Coding Temple Incorporation and their address. And I also asked like the tax rate, right? And after getting the tax rate, I calculated the total amount that is going to be paid by customer. And this was our final result. Today, today I'm going to bring about the new concept that is called functions. Function is just not like a line of a code. It is uh, you say concept in your programming toolkit that will change your whole coding into more modular, reusable, and user friendly. And as we walk through changing or refactoring our existing code into more modular form, you will really get to know. So without further ado, let's get started. So, and I also like to add here in that today I went to my job and I thought like let's learn functions, okay? And while I was looking through the concept of the function, I thought why not let's work on the Python script or the file wherein I was working and writing everything. And then I realized the importance of Git. I'm pretty sure everybody will be familiar with the GitHub and Git, where you basically upload every coding file over there, and then whenever you want, basically it works as a repository, right? And whenever you want to work on that file again or want to make changes, you take that out, make the changes, and just commit it, right? In other words, see, I'm not really familiar with Git as if now. I haven't started learning it, but I will learn soon. But let's first focus on working on this functions. And whosoever would like to know what we did, please refer back to the old videos. You can start from one and then move up to the three video. I will make sure that I will give the link of those three videos. Perfect. So, okay, to begin with, it is very important to understand like what is function, and I'll give you the brief description. Uh, Meanwhile, let me really quick check whether, okay, yeah. So I'll give you the really brief discussion about the function. I'm not here making tutorial. I'm basically coding a project. Okay. So the function we define first. We always first define the function, and that start with def. So that's defining a function. Then we write the name of the function. Suppose the name of the function is say hello, and then this is curly braces and then colon. To say that, now you can write, when you hit enter, it automatically goes a tab space from where you can start all the code statement. And whatever you do, okay, whatever you want to do, it will be done over here. So you just defined the function. Suppose the function do is that it print hello, and I want to give it a name. Okay, just say it just print hello. Okay, it's simply print hello. So we defined and it simply print hello. So just by defining, and if I run it, will I get any input? Okay, let me clear. Okay, did I get any input? Let's run again. See, there is no input. Why? Because defining only will not do any good. We have to invoke it. We have to call the function as well. So call the function. To call it, we'll simply say hello, and then now run it. And there you go. See, we run and we get the hello. So that's one of the specific tasks that I wanted to do with this function. Similarly, if I want it to be little bit dynamic, I want it to have some variables. So suppose I want to say hello something, suppose Manish, but I don't want to give it the name right away. I rather want to use the variable. And if I want to use a variable, then I have to use that as an argument here. So we have to give a, in the inverted comma, we call it parameter or argument. So whatever here comes will be stored here. Okay, so how does it work over here? Whenever we call the function, so whatever here parameter is, we have to give the value. So I'm going to give the value. So if it is a name, it would be, suppose, say Manish. And now if I run it, what will happen is that this value will be stored in the name argument or parameter, and then it will be available for wherever we use this argument or parameter. So we are using name over here, so it will come here, and it will, this function will print hello name. That would be hello Manish. Let's see if it does. There you go, hello Manish. So that's the importance of the argument. What if I want to use multiple argument? Yes, I can do. Say I have another parameter. If I want to use this, I'm gonna print my age is, okay, and here I will write age. So the next time I wanna call this function, I have to provide the age as well. So I'll say comma, and see, it automatically gave me the option of age. I'll say 27, and now if we run it, hello Manish, my age is 27. Okay, what if I want to say hello Pradeep, and my age is 25. That's where this function plays a amazing role. I don't need to write or define another function for that person. No, I'll use the same function, and I just change the value over here and here for these two parameters. So I'm going to call the function again, but this time say hello, and this time I'm going to provide different values. So I'll say Pradeep, and his age is suppose 34. So what will happen? See, so that's the greatest advantage. This one definition, you define it once, but then you call it or invoke it as many times you can, and then it will give you the result. So that's the concept of reusability and modular coding that you get when you use functions. And there is another one thing that I would like to suppose bring out, suppose we do a calculation. Suppose there is a function, let's say add numbers, okay, and I want num1, so I'll ask for two numbers, okay, directly, and what it will do is that sum num1 num2, okay, and so okay, it will definitely do this, but I want, okay, and let's call that 2. Suppose we want the sum of 2 and 3, okay, will I get anything? No. Why? Because here we are not doing any action, okay, and also what if I want to use this number or the result from this somewhere else? So yes, there is an option. So whatever is the result of that function, we can reuse it later in our code. And for that, we use the keyword return. And here, either I can say num1, num2, or I can say, I can return it in another format as well. We will see how we are going to do. Okay. So right now, see, I have to mention whether the number 1 and number 2 is integer or not. So I'll mention that for sure. But we will dive into this later on and we will understand what exactly the benefit it will bring. Okay, now let's check our receipt. In this receipt, I will divide this into 3 things. First, we took the input. Okay, so we need function. I'll make one txt file, plan.txt. Okay, so we did 3 things. First, to create that receipt, we need input. Okay, with the input, we will do calculation and we will do some formatting. In other words, we did some processing on that input, and then we want some kind of a output. So we do print. What? Basically, we print the receipt and whatever in it. So we are doing these 3 things in a broad category. So I want the function for all of them. So function to get input, okay, then function to do calculation, then function to do formatting. Formatting as in, if you want to format, for example, we used this decorative symbols, right? This decorative symbol, we want to do some formatting in this so that the table looks more user-friendly, readable, and amazing, like beautiful. Okay, so that's the formatting. So we need function to do formatting, and then we need functions to print the receipt. So that's our 4 big categories for which we are going to define the function. Right now, I'm only talking about defining the function. Okay. So I'll start with very simple, that is print. Why I'm talking about print and the formatting? Because see, both of these will require input. Okay. And if I want to test whatever is the output, then I have to give the input and it would be like too much of work. So I'll go with first whatever is much easier for me to always like check by running it. Okay, so I want to create first functions or define functions to get the print. Okay, so this is our previous code. See, I'll simply show you. First we clear the terminal. Okay, so I'm gonna add this one as well. We want function to do extra, like clear the screen. Okay, I'll add that one as well. Okay, so if you see, like we clear the screen, we then ask for the input from the user, and to get the input we also declared, and whatever is the input we saved in that variable, Then we gave some heading like receipt. If you see this receipt, and then we ask like how many number of product we the user wants to add in the receipt, and then based on the number of product we created a dictionary. Again, go back to the older video and check why did I use dictionary. And that dictionary, once created after having all the input, so the input would be, for example, these book $49.94, computer 534. So the name and the price, we got all the input, we stored them in the form of the dictionary, and then we started printing. So first we printed uh, suppose the borderline, then we printed the receipt, we formatted it, see we use the format, then we printed the borderline again, but it's a different section, and then we printed company details. Again, this company detail came from here, input. And what I did is that I saved this name, address, and city in the form of a array here, right? And then I used for loop. Why did I do that? Again, I did to reuse or like stop using repetitive print statement. So that's where for loop comes in. So I use for loop, and then I use the same thing to create the headers of the receipt where we mention about the product. So first product name, product price, see product name, product price, and then what I did is that I printed name and price. So again, I use the for loop, and eventually here I did the calculation and I printed them too. To do the calculation, I use this total price sum function, and then text, I applied the text amount, and then I printed them. And finally, I printed this message and I closed the borderline. Straightforward. Okay, so now instead of working on this, I'm gonna create the another, I'll say receipt with function dot py. Okay, so this is our working file. As I told you, we would be working on first defining all the functions, and I'll start with these two. Okay, so what I told you is that in previous video, to always have this terminal clean, okay, I import OS library and then I use the clear command. Let's do the same thing. So import OS, okay, and what I did is that OS dot system and then clear command. But I told you I'm not gonna do the same thing. Okay, it's okay. I imported OS because that's the import thing. But this I'm not gonna do it until and unless I'm gonna put that in some function. So let's define a function. So define clear screen. Okay, so this function will do what? It will clear the screen. So I'll simply say this will, or should I define here? Simple say clear the screen. Okay, but it will not allow me to move further. It will keep giving me error until and unless I write something, right? Because so that's why I'm gonna write here. So that would be OS dot system, and then how does it work? Clear. Okay, so this definition is done. So this function will only do one thing. Whenever we run the command, it will clear this screen and it will only show the latest output. If you want to see, suppose I print hello. If I run it, okay, if I run it first time, see, it gave me hello. But when I run it another time, this first hello should not be visible to me. Okay, so I'm gonna write hello one so that you will know that I made some changes and save the script. And if this time I run it, let me know if it shows me hello and hello one or not, or whether it shows me only hello one. Oh my god, it shows me hello and hello one. It did not clear the screen. Why? Again, just defining will not do everything. I have to call it as well. So let's call it. So I'm gonna call this function. And now if I run, oh, okay, the logic has to be kept in mind. First I printed, okay, so hello one printed, and then I run the clear screen command. See, wherever you call it at that exactly point, right, it will run. So clear screen has to be run first, and then I'll print hello. Make sense? So remember, where the place where you're calling the function will make a huge difference. So now, see, now I got the hello one. So if I change it to hello two, I should not see hello one as per our rule. And there you go. I only see hello two because it clears the previous output. So it means it is working. So remember when to, since I want it always to run first, so I'll say clear screen should be our first. So I'll keep it there. Okay, here I would like to mention one of the another concept whenever we run Python script, there is a function called main. Okay, so I define this main. Okay, and what what as a programmer everyone does is that they define a main function and they put every other function inside it, so that it's like a main, uh, it is the top main function that will include all the function. So at the end, everything would be encapsulated under this main function. So I will say now I'm going to run this one here. Okay, but again I have to call this function as well. So I'm gonna call this one here. Okay, and there is another one thing is that most of the time we run Python script through terminal, and there is a some predefined variable from the terminal that is called underscore underscore name. And you see, if I define, if I say, see, I'm getting this option with two underscores. If name, see, if name is equal to main, okay, double equal to for equality, then only run main. So that is our main working block. Remember, whenever you work with function, this would be, even I remove this for now, or just say, this would be our first predefined setup, and then you can start working on your project. So I will say always keep this as your basic um, startup setup, startup configuration for your Python script file, and call it a template, startup template, whatever. Okay, and now what it will do is that let's understand what it will do is that first it will always import the OS library, then it will be used here in to define the clear function, which eventually will clear whatever output over here, like previous output, and it will only run if the name is equal to main, which will be always. So do find out, do Google search and understand why I went for define main. Okay. Now I was thinking today, like this clear function only works because I'm working in a terminal that's Mac OS command line CLI. What if you're working on Windows? So I have to further define this clear screen function with respect to the platform I'm working on. So I'm going to import another, that is platform. Okay. So right now it is not accessible because I haven't used it. So what I do want to use that this will only run if the platform is right, if the platform on which I'm running is Mac. Okay. And if it is not Mac, then it should be CLS, because if you work on command prompt, it is CLS. So if you're working on Windows, it is CLS. So if platform dot system equal to Windows, Windows, okay, I'll say OS dot system would be CLS. Else, okay, I did not introduce the concept of if else before in my video. So if else, like if totally works on the condition. If this happens, if this is true, do this, else do this. Simple. Okay, if you are okay to learn and code with me, stay here. Else, just do whatever you want. I'm not saying anything, but here I'll say OS dot system and clear. So what it will do is that first check this condition, and it will check whether it is Windows. No, the platform dot system is Mac. You want to check platform dot system. Oops, it doesn't say anything. How would you check what's your platform? Let's Google it. I'm gonna run this one. Okay, so platform dot system. See, it says platform dot architecture. What it does, see, platform dot system return the system or OS name such as Linux, Darwin, Java, Windows. Okay, so this will return whatever we are working on. So I'll say platform dot system. Let's say if it says function, and now we can run. Clear. It cleared. Okay. So read through this. Okay, it will tell you everything. And you know, why did I use only like platform.system equal to Windows? Because it will return empty string, right? Because it cannot determine whether it's a Windows or not. It says it is not Windows. So it's basically the condition here was false. And since this condition was false, the statement under else run. And what it does, we already know. It clears the terminal over here. So let's run. Let's see if it clears the terminal. There you go. It worked. So I would say you can further work on it and include like whether it is Windows, Linux, if you also run Python on your Linux machine and you want to clear that. And just check whatever is the command to clear the terminal over there. I believe it is cls as clear as well because Mac and Linux both work on Unix architecture. So yeah. Okay, let's move forward to our main project. So this is our project. So now let's start defining for these things. Okay, should I define here or here? I'll say define over here. Okay. So the first function, what I want is that I'm going to directly write and then I'm going to write on the above. So after clear screen, suppose I want this top border. Okay, let's start working on printing this border. So how did we print the border? We defined the border line and we gave them this star sign and then we multiplied by 50. For the section, we gave this equal sign. So should I define two functions? First function to print border line. Okay, so I want these two here. Suppose I write it here. Okay, and I want to print. So should I write this print and I'll say header border line and then print section border line. Okay, and I'll write something here print. I'll say for gap new line hello and then again new line so that you can see that I created border line. Okay, and these are simply variable. Okay, there you go. Let's run again. See, so what it does, let's explain. First is clear the screen. Okay, and then it printed header border line where we define the variable as it will take the star string or symbol and then it will multiply it 50 times. So it's 50 times. It printed it and then this run. Okay, and what it does, first it will put one line space. So you see there is a one line space and then it write hello and then again one line space. And finally at the end it printed this section border line which is defined by using equal symbol, right? And we multiplied it 50, so it was typed for or printed for 50 times. Okay. Now I don't want to write this variable over here, rather I want to define them using function. So I have two questions. Should I go like this? I create a function, say print header border line. Okay, I define this function and I'll define here print. So defining a function name should be meaningful always. Like always go for any meaningful name because it will make easier to read them, right? So say section border line. Okay, I just write the name and I put it here because I wanted it to run over here. Now let's define it. So to define it, what I will do is that define And what did I choose the name? This one, right? So for this, I simply copy. Okay. And then in colon. And what what is the purpose of this function? Is to print this. So I'm going to define this variable over here. Okay. And then I want to print header border line. Okay. So now see, it was defined properly and the error line goes away and this will be executed. So I'll do the same thing for this one. So I'll simply copy so that I don't need to write again. And instead of header, it should be section. So I'll say this is section. Instead of here header border line, this should be coming here. And this should be here. Perfect. Okay. So there you go. We defined the header border line because it will print star only, and we defined section borderline because it will print only the equal sign, right? And we called it where we needed it because I needed it here just on the top. Okay, you see, I need it here on the top and I also need it here on the bottom. So suppose I wrote here, I'll say print same new line. I'll say messages thanks. Suppose, okay. And then I want this header border line again at the bottom since it looks similar. Okay. So now I call it again advantage of function. You can call it as many times and then based on logic wherever you want. So now it should print, see, hello, thanks, and this one is at the top and this one at the border. I use the same function 2 times based on my logic and hello, thanks. So it means if it is working this way, we can make all these lines. We can make all these lines. So first we need this one, then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times and then the star. Okay. So I'll remove this. This I don't need this. So first, how many times I need this one here? Okay, because I want section line after this header. How many times? 4 times. Okay. Okay. So let's run. There you go. See? Are we getting it? Amazing. So that's the biggest advantage. I don't need to write again and again, print, 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 print. I just wrote it one time and I call the function as many times as I want, and then it does its work. Reusability, modularity, and less number of coding lines. Okay, but did you notice that in both of these functions, there is only one difference? What? This symbol. Otherwise, everything is same. So why not I combine these two functions into a one function and rather take the parameter. Okay, I'll take the parameter and the value would be either star. If it is a star, then it will print borderline with the star, and if it is an equal sign, then it would be a equal sign. To go about it, say I'll define the function print borderline, and it will take two. Say first it will take symbol, that would be a string, and then it will take the number of characters. Yeah, I wanna decide that also. I don't want it to be hard coded. I rather want it to be given whenever we call it. So what it will do is that, say again, a new variable will be called say borderline. So what it will do is that it will multiply symbol with number of character, exactly the same way we did it here, right? And then finally it will print the borderline. Amazing. So now I just have to give the parameter values and then it will assign it here and then it will print it. Let's see if it works. So now I'm going to remove this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to remove all of this. Okay. And I'm going to remove this one as well because I don't need that anymore. Why? Let's find out. So I'm going to call it here. So I'll say function print borderline and it asks two things. First symbol. So first symbol would be star and how many number of characters? I want 50. Suppose I want 60. So that's the advantage. I don't need to hard code it, right? Previously we were literally putting 50, 50, okay? And if I define it one time, then I have to use the same variable and wherever that variable would be used, it will always take 50. But now, what if I want print borderline and I want, suppose star, but I want this star, suppose 90 times. Will it make difference? Yes. Now the star would be multiplied with 90 and the first one, the star would be multiplied only 60 times and see, that's the advantage of the parameter. So whenever you define a function with a parameter, that flexibility you get. Okay. So I don't want this. Let's stick to our problem. So what do I want? I want only 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay. Let's go for 50. And I just have to change the symbol. Okay. How many times did I need? 4 times. And then at the end, I want this one. Amazing. So now we have only, oops, this should be 50, 50, 50. Let's check our output. There you go. We again got the same output, right? But less number of code and more reusable and flexible. Amazing. Good job. Next thing, we want to print this one, this message. So previously what we did is that we define a variable called message. Where is message? See, we defined the variable message, we stored this and we formatted it here right away. And we took the company name dot title. Okay, company name dot title and this, so basically this is company name and we went for doing the uppercase for the first word. So, but this company name was defined here and that it was storing variable from user input. Okay. How about this time? So we want here print say end message footer. I don't know, what do we call it? Footnote? Footnote message? Okay. Print thanking note. Say print thanking note. Okay. And here I want the message. I want the message. So why do I want the message? Because probably I want some other message. Instead of thanking for shopping with us, probably I want something else. Okay. But for now, let's keep it without any parameter. Okay, we call it, let's define it. I'm gonna define, suppose here, what was the name? Print thanking note. Okay, colon, and what it will do is that it will only print this one. Okay, the format was, this was the format. See, print message here. This was the format. So I'll simply copy and paste it here, and I have to define the message. So I'll simply copy. What was the message? This was the message. But now, again, we don't have company title, so that we need it. So suppose this company name has to come from somewhere, right? This I understood. If you don't understood, let's do it again. I know it's confusing. So to print this thanking note, I want that message would be always one. Only change that will happen would be the name of the company, because probably some other, we are creating this receipt for some other company, right? So it will say thank you for shopping with, suppose, XYZ Corporation. Next day I want thank you for shopping with ABC Corporation. So what is changing will go into the parameter. So the changing is company name. Okay, I defined it here and I'm gonna use it. So say message would be thank for shopping with, and then I'll say placeholder. So that whatever company name will come here with today, and then I'm gonna write format. I'm using this instead of using the F string, right? Like the F thing for string formatting. If you know that, go for that. Right now, I'm comfortable with this annotation, so I'm going with this. Okay. So the format. So whatever placeholder value comes here will come here. So that would be company. Company name, and I want it to be titleized. Titleized. Okay. Okay. And then finally, I want to print the message. But before printing the message, I want to format it further. Why? Because I want one line space on the above, then my message, and then one line space below. Okay. And then format. And in the format, I want to format the message. But also what I want is that its spacing or alignment, I want it to be at a, okay. So we want it to be a central aligned like this, okay, or I'll say, see, like this. We just want it to be central aligned. So for this upper cap, and then I'll say from the both side, it will have equal distance. Let's say it will have a space of 48 or say 40. Okay. Now let's check whether it print over here or no. Oops, something is wrong. What is wrong? Because I call this thanking note function, but I did not provide the value. So right now, suppose the value is coding sample incorporation, right? I have to provide the value because if I have defined, see, I have defined this parameter, so I have to provide the value. I provided the value that will go here, that will put it here, and then the message would be ready, and that would be printed in this format. Now let's run again. Amazing. You see, thanks for shopping with Coding Temple Incorporation today. If you wanna use this one, I am going to write this name as simple, say X, Twitter. Okay, there you go. But it does not put in the center, so it has to be like, since it is a 50, so I will say from both sides one character space. So I'll say 48, and there you go. You go. It's in the middle. Good. If you're enjoying, I'm happy. Okay. So borderline is defined. Okay. Now print thinking note. Let's check the. Okay. So this is done. Now move on to this receipt because it looks similar, right? It looks completely similar. Oh yeah. No way. Okay. So hmm. If it is exactly similar, the same concept that borderline used before, remember? So, and it has the same spacing, same formatting. Only thing which is changing is the message. Instead of message, there it is called receipt in some format, like with the tilde, and it does not take the company name. Only difference is that it does not take the company name. Hmm. For now, since it is going to use the same formatting, why not let's define the format? Yep, yep, yep. So let's define format. I'll say div formatting, and that will be a function and then run. Tuk, 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 go down. Okay, so I want it to do formatting, and it will do formatting on this one. I want it to do the formatting of message. Suppose message or some agenda or topic. I don't know what to call it because here it is one word and here it is a whole sentence, but overall it's a one object. Okay, and what is only changing that this string or whatever is written, otherwise the format and the one line spacing from up and down is similar. So right now just say this is label, just call it label. Okay, do formatting, just call it, it's a label, right? And what it will do formatting, but what kind of a formatting it is, let's say center formatting. It's center formatting, right? It makes sense to me. Yep. So it will do print and it will use the same thing, right? Because that's the one thing only I want it to do. Okay, and instead of message it would be label. Okay, so the only parameter that I need to provide is the label. Okay, so now I want to define it above so that logically it makes sense. I'm going to use this over here, right? So instead of writing this line, right, I want to write div center formatting of message, right? And now once we call it, it will run this one and we should get the same result. There you go, we got the same result, but we are going to use this to print this one. Okay, so I'm gonna use this function do center formatting over here. So do center formatting, and what do we want in a label? Is that tilde 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 RECIPT tilde tilde tilde? Okay, if everything makes sense, so we should get exactly like this. Rest of the task has been already done here. Okay, let's run it. Amazing. Okay, I hope you are not getting overwhelmed with so many of it. I can click one space for each of them, like this, like this, like this, like this. There you go. So this is all printing. See, this is all printing. We just did print. Okay, what's next? Next, we want to print this one, right? We want to print company name, street, and city. I know, as per our previous video, we took the input and I should have gone for the input first as per the logic. But let's see if we can avoid the input and still can do it. Yeah, without asking input. I'll give it the hard coded value for now for just running the command and without any error. Okay, so the print for this one is done. We want to print this one. So this is like one information about the company. So basically this is company detail, right? So we want to print the company detail where here. I'll simply write down the comment print company details, right? We are printing company details like name and address. That is name and address. Yes, we are printing company details, that is name and address. How would we do that? One way is that I'll simply use print command. No, that's the thing. We are not going to do that. We are using only functions. So we have to define the function. So I'll write the function over here. Where do you want? Where do you want? Formatting, thanking note. I'll say it's on the top, so hit on the top. So I'll define function print company details. Details or info? Info? Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So to print the company info, I want the company details, right? To get the company detail, suppose if I have the company detail and I hard code it, what I would do is that I will print and then I'll simply say coding sample, suppose that's the company name, or say the company name was that, and I hard coded it, suppose, and I called this function where here, so that print company info, I called it. So we should see after receipt the company info, that would be X incorporation. Let's run it. There you go. Amazing. But we want it in a certain format. Okay. We want it in a certain format, and the format is what? This one. So this is like all the starting point would be in a one line. So that's the alignment. And think about it as a like a tab space or center. How do we get it? Let's jump to our old one. And what we did is that we use the tab, to tab. Okay. To do the formatting, we will do the to tab. So let's deal with it. So I'll say this one, 2 times tab, and then hit format, and I'll pass the value that is X incorporation. Okay. And I wanna italize it. So italize, uppercase basically. There you go. See, X incorporation, and it came here after 2 tabs. Amazing. So if I can do this one, why not I can do with the other info as well, like the address. So I'll do the same thing. I'll say copy and print, and then print, and here it would be address, suppose whatever address, and here it would be city, suppose city, and state is Ontario, suppose. I don't want it to be title, otherwise it will change the ON with uppercase O and then smaller case N. I don't want that. But let's see how does it look. Again run, and there you go. See, we got it. But what we have thought is that we don't want to write the print so many times. We don't want to write this format so many times like we did here for center formatting. Let's define a function for formatting. Define do tab formatting. Okay, I'll say to tab formatting. Okay, so it's to tab formatting, and what it will do is that whatever is the label, like this one, okay, it will print inverted comma, curly braces, 2 times tab, and then format, the same thing, and this time here label. We defined it. Let's use it here. So instead of this one, I'll write do to tab formatting of label, that is X incorporation, and I want it to be title here only. So I'll remove this one. Okay, I'll do the same thing for address. Oops. Proper formatting, and here it will be address, and same thing for this one, but it would be no title. Sorry, this would be function. Okay, it would be no title, rather it is just city. I hard coded it in the format we want. It's same. So instead of using the print statement, I use the diff function, and we call it. But did you see? Again, I'm writing 3 times. Means I'm calling the function 3 times. And whenever there is a repetition, we always go for loop. And for the for loop, I have to put this info in some kind of a sequence. So I have one of the best, that is list. So I'm gonna put them in a list and assign the variable to store them. Suppose say company info, right? This is our list, and whenever list, it's always an array. It will be in the square bracket, and I'll say this is For now, just call it. I'm right now hard coding it, and then I'll explain to the next. And then address, and then city, Ontario. So that list has been defined. Okay. And I'll remove this one because now I'm gonna run the for loop. So for info in company, oops, I have to go up. Okay, now for info in company info, what do I want is that I want to call this function. So do to tab formatting, and I'll say info. Okay, so what it will do, so this info will take the current value when this loop will run into this list. So the first time it will run, info will save the value of X incorporation, and that value will go over here. Then this function would be called, and when this function would be called, it will go here, and then it will run this one print, and whatever is the label was info, so info will come here, and it will print the info, that is X incorporation over here. Make sense? So that's for the first loop. Then the next one, again it will run because it has got 3 items, right, in the list of company info. So first time it will run, and it info variable will store this X incorporation. It will go here. Then this function would be called. When this function would be called, it will go here. Then the label will have the value of X incorporation, and then this print function will run, and the label would be X incorporation. So that would be printed here for the first time. And it will happen again. Then it will take the address as the info. It will go again here. This will be printed like the address, and then it will again run, and the city Ontario would be printed. And after that, there is no other variable. The list is exhausted, so the for loop will break, and it will come out of it. So let's run it. It should be same. To make the change so that you will understand the change, I'll say ABC incorporation. So let's run it. There you go. Address incorporation, address city Ontario. That's the beauty. For loop, functions. Okay, and then for loop in a list. Okay, if it is making sense. Now I hard coded it here. I don't want to hard code it here. I want it to come from here. That is company details. Right? I want it to come here. How? So assume, just assume is that for one point of time, we are not asking the input from customer or user in the terminal. Rather, we define it just for a purpose of running our code and get the result. Suppose getting the input is at the end. So I need to define this company info. Okay, how would I define that? Okay, I can use the concept of the dictionary. Let's do it. So I'm going to define, say, declare variable or define variable. I'll say the name of the dictionary is company. Okay, that's our dictionary. Dictionary always start with this one, this braces, and then it will have a key value pair. So the first is mm, say name. Okay. Right now, should I hard code it? Yeah. Say this is name. Just right now call it a variable name. Name. Okay. And then this one would be ABC incorporation. So I'm hard coding over here, right? I'm creating a data for the company. Then the next value would be street address. Street address, and that will have the value of, suppose, 283 Franklin Street. Assume it is not in the right format. I want to put it in the uppercase later on. And then I want another key value pair, that is city Ontario. So I'll just simply say city. Okay. And I'll give the value for now is that it is Boston, Ontario. You have to learn how to define a dictionary. Okay. So that's how it is defined. So the company, and see it says dictionary, and it's a combination of string and string. Okay. And whenever we want to call this info, we can call. So I want to call this company in this one. So I'll say company. Okay. And what do I want is that, say, I'll say to make it different, given company. So now instead of putting a hard value over here, what do I want? I want the given company name. So it should be coming from here, right? I'll let you know. So given company dot, what do I want? Whenever I want to call this one, so I have to write the dictionary name, and then in the square bracket, I will call the key. And whenever I write this, in the place of this given company with this one, will be replaced with the value, that is ABC incorporation. In other words, first I wrote ABC. Okay. So instead of writing this, okay, I'm going to write company info. Okay. Instead of writing ABC incorporation, I'll say, give it a name, company. I'll say, okay, see, here I have defined print company called print company information, and it will require the parameter as well. Suppose the parameter is taking this variable, this company variable, right? So that company, okay. So what it will happen is that this dictionary would be called, see, it is automatically called dictionary is str. And when this function would be called, this company will go here, okay. And the first item in the list I want is company, this one, and I want the name. What do I want? the name. It should be name. Okay. The next item I want from the company is company. Again, company dictionary, and I want the next one is street address. The next thing I want company city. Okay. So this is equivalent to this one only if this company is referring to this company. And how would we know? Because we called this company. Suppose if it says, I'll rename the parameter given company, and I'll use this one here, given company, and given company. Okay. Oops, it should be city address. Okay. And I'll remove this one because I don't want to hard code this. So this is a list of the company info. See, it is a list and given company, and it will fetch the name. Okay. There's some mistake. Line too long. View problem. What's the problem? Oh, it's not a problem. Receive with the function one of a problem. Okay. That's not our problem right now. Let's run. Let's see what will happen. Yo, see, it ran and it took all the information from here. See, ABC Incorporation, 283 Franklin Street, and Boston. So now I will explain what is happening. First, I defined this variable in a dictionary format, right? The data structure is dictionary. Okay. Now to access this ABC Incorporation over here, okay, how do you access any dictionary value for a specific key? You do it like this. So if it is dictionary, and this is suppose key 1, and that's their value, then another one is key 2, and that's their value 2, suppose. Okay. And if I want to access this value 2, we can do it by saying dictionary key 1. And if you print this one, it will give the result value, sorry, 1, it should be 1. It will run print 1. Do you want to see how it does work? Let's take it to a rough file. I'll define this. I'll say it's in the inverted comma so that it will look like a string. Okay. And this should be this one. Remember, it always this bracket. Okay, we defined a dictionary with a 2 key value pair. One is key 1 with the value of value 1, and second one is key 2 with the value of value 2. Now, if I want to print, I want to get the value 1. How do we get that? So I'll say dictionary, and I'll say square bracket, and see, it automatically gives me option to choose. I say key 1, and if you print, clear this. See, now if you print, we should get value 1. There you go. So that's how we access value, this value 1. So we did the same thing over here. I wanted ABC Incorporation over here. So what I did is that first I will access this company over here. I access the company and then I'll check the key that would be equal to name. So I put it the name, exactly what I wrote here. Then only it will work. It should be exactly like over here. That's hard-coded thing. We will change it to dynamic, but right now to understand and build upon it, I use the hard-coded. Okay, so it worked and we got the, see, we got it. And also further, we want it in a title format. So I'll put it right here. Oops. Can I put it here or somewhere else? Formatting. I'll look into it. Right? I will look into it. How do we do that? And we will deal with it later on. It's not a concern right now, but we got it. If you want to do it, let's hard code it. Say F, say F. Okay. And Boston is in, not in Ontario at all. Okay. Let's check. Okay, perfect. We are too close. Let's change it to coding temple as well. This coding temple incorporation. Okay, guys, take a break. I know it's too much at what time, but if you have followed, just check your progress. We are just working on our logic. We know the simple concept of how to use print function, and we are just printing like how to use the function, how to define it, and how to call it, and then how to use the parameter, how to access it. See, so we just printed company detail, and this one is done. What's our next target? We want to print. We want to print this one. Let's work on this, and we will hard code this value. Okay, we will hard code this value for now. Okay, so we want to print here, print calculation section. Okay, that will have three rows. That will have three rows. That would be like total, then text, and then total after or total with text. To make it easy, I'm going to define that here too for now, because assuming we are not taking input, we just give it in the code. So say total amount is, suppose, how much is the total amount? 104, no, 966.25. We just give the value 96.25 and then tax rate. The tax rate is suppose 8%, so that would be 0.08, suppose. Enough. These are the two values I have. Now, what do I want? I want to print that calculation section where we will see all this total. How do we do that? Should I do again the same thing? If you can see, we have already done that, right? We have to print total, and then we have to have the alignment, and this alignment, we have to work on that. We have to work on that formatting. So that formatting, and then we have to print it 3 times. Let's see the code. Here it is. See? So we want to do this thing. So I'll say this one. I'll simply paste it, suppose, right? but I'll change it with the definition. I selected total amount, so it should be total amount here as well. Oops. Total amount. This is doing nothing but just calculating the tax amount, right? See, total amount into tax rate is tax, and then total, I'll say with tax, and again here total price. The total price is total amount and the tax amount. And where the tax amount is coming from? It is coming from, I have to calculate the tax amount as well. How do I get the tax amount? This is the tax. This is tax. I have to store this. Either I can write it again. This was our tax amount. Or I'll simply define it here. Tax amount is equal to total amount multiplied by tax rate. There you go. I define it. Okay. Nothing serious. So tax amount has been defined, and here we have used it. Let's put the proper formatting. Tab, tab, tab. Let's see. Now print it. Oops. Let's again print it. There you go. We got the total tax. So this is our old way. This is our old way of doing. And what we did is that we used the same print 3 times, and you see what is common. This much portion is common. Only the changing thing is that here, 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 and here, right? So that's not tax rate. I already applied that. That's tax amount. See, only thing here changing is that in the format there are 2 values. The first value is the label, and then the amount of say value, right? That's the 2 thing only changing. Rest, this formatting we have already done for it. So I don't want to write it again and again. Rather, I'll create a function. So let's create a calculation function. So I'll write down over here, because define print calculation section, because it's printing only calculation section. Okay, there you go. And what it will do is that it will print, it will execute all of these commands. So I'm gonna cut and paste it here. Oops, do the proper formatting. Okay, so now I'll just call this function here, print calculation section. And if you see, we will get the same result. So I'll again run the command without any error. We again got the same thing. Only I took all the print line and I put it here in the function. And I call the function over there. Here. So I printed the calculation section. It is ready. But again, we did nothing different. We typed print statement with the most of the same thing twice. So we will take whatever is the common. We will take this whole thing common, and we will define another function. And that is nothing but a formatting. Define do, and this one is not center formatting, but this is row, say product rows formatting. Yeah, because it is actually, do calculation row formatting. Don't fear from making a long name. As long as it will say what it is doing, we are okay with. See, as soon as I read do calculation row formatting, it clicks you. Okay, we are going into the calculation section and the rows have been formatted using this function. If you have good or better name, use that. So formatting is nothing but this one. I printed that, and again I want here two things. First is the label and then its value, because label will come here and the value will come here, right? And I'm gonna call it 3 times like the old ways. So I'll say do calculation row formatting. Again, I have to give the two values. So the values will be these two. Okay. Same thing. Do calculation row. Give it two values. Oops. Okay. Oops. Did I paste? Okay. And then finally do calculation, and for the last one, that is total with the text and the total amount plus text amount, that would be our sum. There you go. Now we don't need this because that would be done using the function call. But nothing changed again 3 times. No worries. Whenever there is a repetition, we go for loop, but we have to select the sequence, right? We have to select the sequence. So we have to create the sequence. What do you think? What kind of a sequence is coming through this? What can we do? Should we use list or dictionary? Because we have to arrange this information uh, in some form of a sequence, and then we can use the for loop. So uh, let's think about okay. So sequence, I will say, should I write down sequence? Yeah, just name it sequence for now, because I'm gonna try hit and trial whether it works or not. So if I take it as a dictionary, so that would be our first one. Okay, that would be our first one, and in the dictionary total, this one, and then I'll skip. Then I need this one. Okay, again colon, so that I'm making it a key value pair, and the last one is this one. Where did it go? Yeah, here. Okay, so I created the sequence in the form of the dictionary. Okay, but and all of these are amounts, so definitely it's a float. No worries. Let's give it in another line. Okay, now it's much readable. So these are our dictionary. Now I'm gonna do the loop. So for whenever we want to access both key and value, so let's call it key, or say label value in our sequence. So sequence, and since we want to access the y items like the key value pair, so I'll say this one, dot item, and then I'm gonna run this function. So do calculation, and here I'll provide the value. So the first one is the label, the second one is the value. Now I don't need this, and amazing. I just remove all the 3 times do calculation row formatting call of that like calling, and then I choose the loop, and to run the loop I choose the sequence, and the data structure I used was dictionary. Makes sense, makes sense. Let's print again. Let's see if we get it. Yeah, it worked. But again, this is not isolated, right? This function is not isolated because this total amount, tax amount, and this value is coming from here. That's our global variable. So let's use that as a parameter. So total, I'll say I need 2 information, total amount, right? And then I need tax amount. That is 2 parameter, right? No error because we are using it. But now if you want to call this function, I have to provide the parameter. So where are we calling this function? Here. So I have to provide the total amount and tax amount. And since I named it the same here, so I'll simply use that. Where did you go? Where did you go? Total amount, I don't say equal because that is, and then tax amount, there you go. And now nothing changed, but it is isolated. This function is isolated and it will require 2 parameters, and that parameter is coming from global variable that we declared here, and we gave the value over here. Amazing. And it's done. Do I need to apply some formatting? No formatting is required. The formatting is already coming from this one, do calculation row formatting. So the formatting is coming from here. Amazing. It worked. It was easy. Sorry about the noise. My nephew is crying. Living with a family brings the perks. Okay, this is done. Now the next thing is that let's jump without wasting time. We have to work on this product section, right? So let's define the product section. It will have 2 things. First, these are the headers, like the product name and product price, and then there are the entries. Forget about the entries. Let's work on the headers. And if you see, this header looks exactly like this, right? The format and everything is the same. So let's bring the headers. Where the headers will come? Below the company info, here we will print product detail section. Okay, product detail or product print product section. Yeah, product detail, I'd say. Yeah, product details, like above. And that will have basically, right now we have only name and price. So one way of going for it is, first I have to get the header. Yeah, first I want header, and then I want the head entry. To get the header, let's check what we did last time. We went for this one. So this is the header. See, we applied the formatting. So what I did, I'll explain again. To print the header, I'll say print inverted comma. I need 2 placeholder because there are 2 columns. First for the name and second header for the price. Okay, and then format, I hard coded it So product name, and the second one is product price. Okay, let's check. There you go. We got the product name and product price, but we want this spacing. So let's use that spacing. So say 20, and this one say 10. Let's see. There you go. But I want this in front of the product price, not after the product price. So in front, so we use this arrow. Oops, something is wrong. I say this one, and in front is this one. Yeah, I always get confused with this one. Yeah, it gave us the proper formatting, but product name should start after the tab. So I'll say tab. Let's see. Amazing. We got the right formatting, product name and product price. But we know we can do this, but we don't want to write it here. We want to write the only function in this main. See, we are only writing the function. So we have to define this function outside. So I'll define it here. Yep, here. Define print product header, and that will do. I'll simply copy paste, sorry, cut it. I'll cut it. I'll paste it. That is done. And what do I want the header? Should I provide from here? For now, let's keep it here. So print product header. So it would be print product header. So we just call it. We got the exact same thing. Amazing. But now, are we going to use the same thing? So we have to call another function to print the section, all the rows of the entry, right? So I'll say rows of product details. What would it say? Rows of entries, basically. These are entries, right? These are entries, book, and these, like in a table, right? This one is a header, and then if it is a table, these are the entries in it. This is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, right? So right now I'm gonna hard code it. I'm gonna, like the company detail, I'm gonna hard code the product. So again, product is a dictionary, okay, and the key value pair would be like the name and the price, name and price. So the first is books, and the price is 49. What's the price? Let's take exactly same, 49.94. Okay, next entry is computer, and the amount 534.54. The next, oops, don't jump. Okay, the next one is monitor, and its value would be 300.99. Okay, just keep three. I bought only 3 products, so I only want the entries for them. So I want to call that over here. Okay, I want to print them here. I want to print product What? Mm, product entries. I know this is weird. Product entries. It's not descriptive, but okay. So I want everything over here. Just next down to headers, and I'll call it over here. Define. Let's copy it. Copy, 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 copy. Go up. Okay. And like headers, I have to print it 3 times. So I'll go again and copy paste. Where are you? Oh, well, I already used since I already created the dictionary, and in last time I also did the same thing. So I'm not gonna waste time. I'm gonna directly do, like, I'll call here product, right? So I'm gonna use the product, and since I'm using here, I'll use also when I'm calling it like the company thing. So I'll say product, okay? And now for what was the name, price, 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 cost, amount, I would say amount paid. Price in product dot items. I want it to print, and I want the same format, exactly the same format. So I'll simply copy. Just write it. So the first tab, then a space of 20, and then 10 format, and I want name, amount. There you go. So it will run the loop, and the loop will run for 3 times because we have only 3 items in the product dictionary. And if I run it right now, it says product name, product price. So it should come right bottom of this one. So let's run it. Oh, there you go. We got it. See, we got it. And we want a borderline over here. Where's the borderline? We want the borderline above calculation, right? Yeah, we want borderline. So print borderline, and we want to give like what kind of a borderline? I want this one, and the character would be again same. There you go. And if we run now, see, we got it in a different section. But one thing I'm not happy is that it doesn't give me the dollar sign. So I want to get the dollar sign as well. So let's go where we defined. Okay, here we defined. So I'll put the dollar sign. There you go. We got the dollar sign. But again, if you can look for the headers and for the end page over here, we are using this part like similar. Only difference is that here it's dollar sign, here we don't have, because here it's a string, but here amount is a float, right? So can we create a one function, and that will decide whatever is going to come over here? So in other word, if I say print headers, I'll say column 1, or I'd say header 1, right? Header 1, header 2, right? And instead of product name, I want header 1, and here I want header 2. And as soon as I did that, here where I say product header, I have to provide we have to provide the header 1 and header 2 value. So I'll provide header 1 and header 2 value over here as a parameter. So product name, product price, and now hit run again. Nothing changed. Why? Because we did it right. Okay. And now we can see that it's almost same. Only difference is that this dollar sign. So I can define that. Let's do another formatting. Do. This is formatting for what? For product. I'll say do product table formatting. And it is a row, right? So product table rows formatting. Okay. And what I want is that only difference is this one is header, 2 is a string, and here it is float. Okay, so I'll say just check if instance. See, what does it do? This basically check like what exactly is the type of the. Yes, we do it like this, yeah. And first one would be var, yes, for the variable. If it is a variable and it is a string, right? Yes. Then I want to get this one, right? I want to get, this one, right? And the values are coming from here. So I'll say label, or say what should I say? Label 1, label 2, or input 1, input 2, just for now. I don't see anything else. So I'll say input 1, input 2. Okay. So what it will do is that first it will check. So the first variable, if it is a string, right, then, and if it is true, then it will apply this formatting. Else it will go, and if it is not a string, I'm assuming that it would be only float, then it will do this formatting. Come on, it will do this formatting. Again, I will change it. Input 1, input 2. Okay, and now instead of writing here this one, I will call this formatting function. So do product table formatting, and here now I'll provide the input 1 as header 1, header 2. Same thing here. Do product table formatting. It would be name, because that would be our first input, and then second would be amount 2. And Nothing changed, but it gave dollar here. Why? So it failed or what? It applied dollar sign to the both one. What changed? What happened exactly? What is amount? Amount is coming from here. Okay. Okay, I guess where did I call product entries? This one, I said product. Do I have to change the amount to the float? I guess yes. So I have to change it to float. And now, nope, something is different. It will automatically understand. What? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What did I do? I define this. I'll say this is string. Okay, I just here it would be input 2. If input 2 is the string, this instance, let's see, return whether an object is an instance of class or no. So input 2 is an instance of a string. Nope, I'm not using this instance properly. How do I check? How do I check? How do I check? I have to check whether input 2 is a string. Is a instance. Is a string. So I'll say input 2 string. I guess this will check properly. Yeah, amazing. Okay. Yeah, so that's how check variable, right? So input 2 is a variable, and whether it is a string or not, it says yes, it's a string. So it will print this one for the product price. Next time, when this amount will come, and then it will check whether input 2, that is amount, is a string. The answer will be no. So this will not be executed, rather this would be executed where we have put dollar sign. Amazing. I know. I'm enjoying, by the way. So let's keep all the formatting in one place. So I'll take this and put it here. Yeah. Even this one, all the formatting above. Okay. Yeah. This is all formatting, and this is clear. Okay. So I'll say functions for formatting. Right. And then we have function for company details. Okay. And then we have function for product details. Okay, we got it. And then we got functions for calculation section. Okay, there you go. And this function for footer section for now. Okay. There you go. And this one, function for borders. And this one is our function for main, standalone main execution. I'll say standalone execution of main. Okay, there you go. And I don't need this thing. So I don't want to write this thing. Okay. See how organized does it look? And this is our function to clear screen. Okay, and these are our global variables. These are our global variables, right? These are our global variables. These are global, so it can be accessed by all of the code statement down there. Okay, and I guess, yep, I'll write this in the same format. Yep, little bit of spacing so that it looks good. Okay. Hey, are we done? Did I realize? Did I put receipt? Wait, let's clear. Okay. Let's run it. I run it, and then I'm gonna give it a full screen. I don't want anything. Okay, now I'll run it. This is okay. Okay. This is done. 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 And as per our plan, we needed the functions for input, calculation, formatting, and print. Yes. So instead of input, I hard coded it. I defined all the variables and I gave all the information from my side. But if you really want, then we can get the all information from user like here. But only to get this dictionary done, we have to ask, like we did last time, that how many number of products do we want and all and everything. And then we can ask for company name, right? We can use everything from here and we can get all the details and we can use that below there. Not a big deal. Okay, do comment in the comment section like how did you do that, and you can paste your code. So show me your code how you did by asking for input. So that would really help me. Okay, let's check our whole code right now. I'll save it. I'll reduce the font size, say 10 for now. Okay. Wow. See how beautiful it looks, isn't it? All the function, only functions, only functions. And see how beautiful they are, isolated, user-friendly, easy to read, and modular. Nothing is like repetitive, right? Nothing is repetitive. Okay, why is it showing here? Because of the long line. So I can simply change it to this, do this. Yeah, now it changed. Okay, and this one, yep, nothing repetitive. Yep, clear screen. What should I say? Today in the morning, I learned the uh, function and its concept. And while I was coming back from job, I was thinking like, can I use that function that I learned and keep doing? I'm telling you, I did not do this before because I didn't have time. I uploaded 2 videos yesterday. I made 2 videos yesterday. I recorded them and I uploaded at the night. Do check them. And then in the morning, I went to my job, and there I only got probably 30 to 40 minutes to read about the function. I read about it, and then I started in my mind like how do I define, what would be my ways of defining, how do I organize. So I was continuously making things up in my mind, and when I came back, I thought, let's make a video. Yep, I'm happy. By the way, congratulations to all of you who also made it with me, coded with me. So yeah, this is done. Now the next challenge, don't get too excited. The next challenge, see, here we use main function, right? Here we used main function, and for this main function, what if I want to create two receipts? What I'm saying is that here I created one receipt for one info of company or data set for data of, I should increase, '24. Okay, so here I created one receipt for data of one company and product, and product bought by one user. That's why one receipt. What if I want to create another receipt, right? And it would be, suppose, same company, like the same company name, but products are different. And I want both receipt printed. Can I do that? Okay. read it again. I want another receipt just after this one. Just after this one, I need another receipt, but this time this data set would be different. And if this data set is different, this amount would be different. Oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait. I hard coded the value. Oh, wait. I hard coded the value. This total amount is hard coded. It should be coming from this one, right? This should be the value. Okay. Okay, no worries. Simple as that. I'll apply sum. Okay. Products. That's the same product. Dot values. Okay. So wherever total amount will be printed. There you go. 956. So if I change it to 200, see, it changed to 848. If I change it to just reduce by 1 as well, so it should be 748. There you go, like 740. Great. Let me know how I did it. If you have read about the sum function and if you have watched my old videos, you would know. And so this is for product of one user, right? What if I want, I know it's going long, but what if I want two receipt, and that will have another product. So let's start making. Suppose I'll say product. I need to give another name. Two. Okay, just call it 2. And suppose he bought only 2 products. Say he bought pen. It cost him $4, and then he bought eraser. That cost him $10. And so if it is product 2, so this is tax amount for this one, right? So I'll do one thing. I'll create total amount for 2. That would be same as sum products 2 dot values. Okay, we got the total amount for 2. Tax rate would be same for both of them, and tax amount is for this one for first, and the tax amount for second total would be total amount 2 into tax rate. Okay, and suppose this is this main. I have to put everything. This is for 1. So suppose this main is for, I'll say for 1. Okay, and I want another def that would be for another main for second, but that would not be a good one. Rather, I can pass, this is for product, right? This is for product. So this product is going down here. Sorry, it's product. So this product is going down here. So all the entries are coming from this product. So all the entries are coming from this one. Similarly, the another value that is changing is total amount and the tax amount. So that I also pass, I'll say total amount, and the another one is tax amount, and that has been passed here and here. So the first one will create for, okay, if I run now, nothing will change. It will create one receipt. Did it? No. Oh, I have to provide the value. So it would be, the first would be product, that would be total, and that would be tax. Now let's run it. There you go. We got it. And suppose I want the receipt. I want the receipt for product 2. So product 2. So I only have to change product 2, total amount 2, and tax amount 2. So product 2, tax amount 2, and tax amount. So I don't have to change it to main. Keep it main. For now. There you go. See, we got the pen eraser. Simple, the same concept that I did. I use the same concept of parameter and see. Now this time we got the pen eraser, and the total amount is $15.12. And what if I want, sorry about the noise, what if I want both receipt? Not a big deal. I have to call this main function. So I'll change this one as print receipt, okay, for which we need product amount and tax amount. And here I'll keep the main function, right? I'll keep the main function, and I'll define like old time main function over here. And in this, I will call the print receipt, and I can provide all the information that would be product, total amount, tax amount, and I'll put the heading so that it will know this is receipt for products for now, and then hit new line, and then I'll say the same thing, and it will be like product 2 for now. Just to be honest, I have to copy this one. Okay, and I have to do is 2. This one is 2, and this one is 2. Okay. Now I should see both receipts one after another. First, let's clear it. Okay, let's take it to the full. Oops, I have to first. Okay, so that I can see run command. Okay, I click run. So go up, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. I'm not happy. Did it print everything or no? It printed only pen eraser. What did I do as a mistake? Oh, there you go. Probably. Am I making some mistake? Oh, this clear screen. See, that's why we are not seeing the first result, because that clear screen is clearly doing its work. So now let me clear screen again and let's see the result by running. Yes. See, this is receipt for product 1 and we got everything here, and this is receipt for product 2 and we got everything here. And just using one concept, how to define it, how to use the parameter, and how to call it, and then all the logic, what comes after what, and we achieve this result. Now I will give you one challenge. Instead of I am saying is that you have company data for 2 companies, company 1 and company 2, and you have data for 2 products they bought. So product 1 and like product list 1 and product list 2. So now you have to train receipt for company 1 and company 2, and both product 1 and product 2. I close this 2 for both company. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying is that first there would be receipt 1, and in this receipt, in the company section, company 1, and then product list 1. Receipt 2, it would be company 1, product list 2. Next, receipt 3, that would be company 2 and product list 1, and then receipt 4, that would be company 2 and their product list 2. It's a challenge. Let me know who can do it, and once you have done, to comment in the section below in my YouTube channel. I'd say challenge. I'll mention the same thing in my YouTube description for this video. And I know it was a really long video, but we thoroughly applied the concept of function. And if you have done this with me, I walked you through the logic that I was applying there and what was the basics. I'm not applying any like tough concept. It's just all the basics, but I'm giving you how to think logically, how basically any programmer would think. I'm not a programmer, but I'm pretty sure if you are a programmer, do comment in the section is that within just 1 week. 1 week? It's not in 1 week. What's today? I guess it's Tuesday. Just within 3 days, I'm doing good. Okay. And whosoever are beginner, have a hope. One line, one code line at a time, and sooner you would be a master coder, whatever. Bye for now. Again, hit hit thumbs up, notification, subscribe button, subscribe, and have a great coding journey. See you soon.